This robot lawnmower makes my yard look like a golf course. This here's my robot lawnmower. And that is my other robot lawnmower. Now, why the heck do I need two robot lawnmowers? Well, I'll get into that because they're completely different. Last year I showed you this Yuka 1500, but new to my yard is this new Luba all-wheel drive Mini. It looks like an F1 supercar, and I'm gonna get into why it's the perfect mower for my yard. Hey guys, my name's Jake, and if you're new to my page, I have a pretty unique yard, which is why I have these two mowers. Let me show you around. So for starters, the grass that the Yuka is on out front is tall fescue, which is currently being cut at around 3.5 inches. Then when you come in the fence right here, we have perennial ryegrass, which is cut by the Luba at 1.2. Then, where I'm standing on right now, as you can see, is a putting green. This is made out of bent grass, and it's being cut at 0.2. Next to the bent grass and to the ryegrass is Bermuda grass. This is Tahoma 31, currently being cut at 0.8. And then we have another putting green over here, which is Bermuda grass. It's stiff tough, and it's being cut at 0.2 as well. So we have an array of grasses that all have different needs. Hence why we have more than one robot mower. So I've had this mower for about 2 weeks, and I've been running it constantly because we've been getting a bunch of rain, and this perennial ryegrass grows like 1 inch a day. It's constantly going. So that shows what the true value of this mower is, especially for people with ryegrass and grass that they want cut short. This is the first mower of its size and kind that I've seen that cuts below 1 inch. So it's perfect for the homeowners who have small yards but love to maintain a low-cut turf like me. So just like my Yuka video, I'll show you some of the specs and features of this thing, and then we'll bring it out in the yard to show you it in action. First and foremost, it is pretty dirty, but I wasn't going to clean it for you guys. I want to show you how it is. So the full name of this is the Luba Mini all-wheel drive 1500. The 1500 separates it from the other model, the 800, which just has less capacity for mowing. So this mows 0.37 acres where the 800 mows 0.2 acres. I have about 0.37, so that's why I got this one. It differs from the Yuka because obviously it has 4 wheels where the Yuka has 2 in the back, 1 in the front that pivots. These are Omni wheels, which I'll show you how they work. So in order to show you, I can control it manually from my phone, just using it as a remote controller. So in moving forward and backwards, these wheels just act as normal wheels. But when going side to side, they somehow turn into zero-turn mowers. That's because these wheels can spin independently. So when I move it sideways, it just pivots like that. These back wheels have some pretty aggressive tread, so they don't get stuck very easily, which is perfect for all these all-wheel drive situations and slopes. So while I'm showing you guys the wheels, I can't leave out the adaptive suspension. So as it's going over tough terrain, it's gonna flex this front axle to prevent it from digging in and scalping your lawn. And that's extremely important at these low cuts. So the Luba uses a 6-blade cutting deck. These are all razor blades that are very easy to change out if they get dull. It's about 8 inches in width, and it can tackle all sorts of terrain. Back behind my fence, there's some pretty rough areas, so I even sent it back there to try to clean up along the fence. I ended up running into some of this fescue netting from sod that I threw back there, and yeah, well, I ended up having to stop and clean that all up. That fescue netting continues to haunt me. Got myself a little boo-boo. That stuff is sharp. I got the Luba backing up into its charging station, so while I'm here, I'll show you some of the features with the charging station and the RTK. So these are my mower's temporary parking spots just to show you the layout of everything. This Luba even comes with this rain shield, obviously, that's pretty neat. But this is the Luba RTK, which is real-time kinetic. It's geo-positioning the mower the same way that surveyors do out in the field, and it allows you to create a perimeter for your mower without having any wires or any infrastructure to prevent it from going outside of its boundary. So my install was super quick for these, especially after I already had the app installed for the Yuka, and I basically just had to find a place that can connect to power for the charging station, and then the RTK had to have 120 degrees of sky. So I knew this spot worked because of the Yuka, so I set it up right next to it. From there, you're just connecting it to Wi-Fi, and then as long as your RTK signal is good and your mower can communicate with it, you're good to start mowing. The mowers also come with this mounting hardware, so you can hook it up to a fence or something like that, and then you can have great access to the sky. All right, so let's go send it over to the rye to start mowing. Y'all can see my screen. We're gonna do a new task. Do area 2, as you can see, that's the ryegrass. Now we can do some different settings. We're gonna change the height of cut to 1. We can change, yep, we changed that. We can change the task speed. Let's go a little bit faster. We're gonna go 1.3. Perimeter mowing, we'll leave it off. And zigzag path, you can see all the different settings that you can go. Start, it's gonna position, it checks all the surroundings, front bumper, the positioning status, battery, 3D vision status, and then it's gonna go. And next, and off it goes. See it over there. In order to create these maps, I literally just drive the mower around the outside. You do this in the mapping mode and it's actually super easy. You just have to take your time. This mower even has technology that my other Yuka doesn't have, which allows it to AI map on its own the perimeter. It uses its vision as well as sensors to go around the edges and map it by itself. Then you just set the direction that you want it to mow and it takes care of the rest. Here's a pretty satisfying shot of it doing my backyard. So real time you can see where it's going and you can see the mapping pattern for how it's gonna mow. And it's starting down there. I ended up having to pause it because there was one aspect that I wanted to change, and it was the cutting path angle. So if you go in there, you can customize it. Right now it's 90 degrees, so it's cutting horizontally. I want it to cut lengthwise. So I went in, put that down. I also put on perimeter, that way it gets all around. Boom. 49 minutes total. It's gonna go. So now that I changed the cutting angle, it's gonna start from a different spot that'll optimize it. And it's absolutely silent. Couldn't hear it if I was over by the house. So I have the perimeter set on the putting green, so it'll never enter the putting green. It'll create a mowing pattern all the way around it. So a lot of people with kids and pets are probably wondering what happens if they get in the way of it. Well, so one of the features of this is it uses this camera right here to detect obstacles and go around them. It's gonna botch my lines. So I touched on this when I did my video on the Yuka, and a big concern for these robot mowers is theft. People worry if they're out in their yard without being present, they're gonna get stolen, which is very valid. So these things come with geo-tracking. Obviously, it's all GPS monitored. There's a fence setting, so once it goes outside that setting, it alerts you. But it's also AirTag compatible, so you can put AirTags in it and track it wherever it goes. You can read more about that stuff on the Mammotion website, but it's clear it's a big concern for them because they touch on it heavily. So these mowers are in the early adoption phase, mostly due to price, but their value is undeniable. This is the perfect mower for somebody who likes to stay on top of their yard, especially wants it low from 0.8 inches to 2.4 inches. That can fit almost all grass types. And for people like me who work 10 hours a day, having this thing in your yard that's available to cut whenever you can't and just stay on top of it daily and keep it maintained and manicured. These things aren't meant to go from 3 inches down to 1 inch. They stay on top of it. You can set schedules and systems for this thing to cut exactly how you want it, to alternate cut patterns. So after running this thing for weeks, it gets my seal of approval. Mammotion's an awesome company. I've been working with them for a while. I'm not just saying this because they sent it to me. I honestly use this thing constantly. You can ask my wife. I love it. It stays on top of my rye. It's going to be cutting the Bermuda this year. So I will post the link in the comments, but more importantly, if you have any questions about this or concerns or you're interested, my comments are open. You'll see this thing all over my Instagram and TikTok. I post it on stories constantly. So I am here to answer any questions. So see you in the comments.